Greetings once again, my friends, and welcome back to Drak Reviews, where we're taking on probably one of the longest anticipated titles, aside from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, on the Nintendo NX, then now Nintendo Switch, as we review Sonic Forces. So this was the second of two Sonic games that we knew we were going to get last year for not only the anniversary, but just two new Sonic games that we got, one of which was Sonic Mania, the other was this one. And a lot of speculation went into this one because it was the first ever game, aside from Nintendo stuff, that actually advertised itself as going out for the Nintendo NX and later on for PS4, Xbox One, and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and dive in first with the story. So the story is basically everything is as it always is in the world of Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic is getting ready to wrap things up against Eggman and his evil robotic hordes when all of a sudden it looks like Eggman has actually thought up the perfect plan, so to speak. He decided to bring back all of Sonic's old enemies, including himself. So you have Chaos from Sonic Adventure, you have Zavok from Sonic Lost World, you had Metal Sonic from Sonic CD, and you had Shadow the Hedgehog from Sonic Adventure 2. So a lot of the more popular ones, all contending with him at the same time, plus a new one. A new character we find out later is called Infinite, but I have officially dubbed him Sonijora. Sorry, but it's a Sonic the Hedgehog face with a Majora's mask, on it. And they actually seem to finish the job. They actually take care of Sonic and allow for Robotnik to take over the world. Oh my gosh! And the purpose of this game is that you actually not only get to create a brand spanking new avatar, somebody who's already contended with Infinite and wants to make a difference in the world, but also help the Resistance take back the world from Eggman. And that's the premise, basically, of the story. You try to reclaim the world from Eggman, but also rescue Sonic, and also have a visit in the form of Retro Sonic from Sonic Generations coming in to help also. So that's the basis of the story, and I gotta tell you, just given the setup that they had there, I didn't really take points off on this one. There were a couple of points that I thought were hokey. There were a couple of points where I'm like, huh, that's kind of weird. That really shouldn't be in there. But then we also had smart plans from Eggman, which was also very, very, very weird. So I didn't take off points for story on that one. I do like the premise, and it sounds like a Sonic game. So moving on into the visuals, that's where this game I actually feel shines a little bit more. It looks like I mean, let's get into the basics here. It looks like a Sonic game. Okay. Green Hill looks like Green Hill. Chemical Plant Zone looks like Chemical Plant Zone. The difference is that we actually have all of the levels within this based around subsections of the areas. They actually took a lot of the zones that we know about and kind of made them into either countries or continents. So you have an entire area that is all Mystic Jungle, and you'll have levels that go on throughout it, but are in different areas so that you can create brand new levels with the same aesthetic that we've seen before. And visually, this game was very gorgeous to look at. I still have very few problems with some of the levels and how they're designed. Looks really, really good. And especially on Nintendo Switch, which is what I played this on, it looks very much golden and where I wanted things to look for a next-gen console, especially for a next-gen Nintendo console. So I'll admit there were a couple of weird levels here and there where the lighting was kind of weird, or some elements kind of got in the way of the gameplay. So I did take off a few minor points on this one, but overall, very gorgeous looking, and I will applaud Sega and Sonic Team for that. Moving on into the gameplay, this is where we have a few problems. As people know, in the past, Sonic games have issues with gameplay. They've had problems with level design, they've had problems with character aesthetics, how characters work, things like that. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into some of the positive things that Sonic Forces does. First of all, I would probably say like 80% of the levels, unlike other games in the past, Sonic 06, Sonic Unleashed, pretty much anything that's come out past Sonic 06 has had questionable stuff with a few outliers in there, namely Sonic Generations, Sonic Colors, and later on, in my mind, Sonic Lost World has very little problems with it. But here, about 80% of the levels work, which is surprising. Like, Sega and Sonic Team, great job. 80% of these levels are fun to play through and engaging and actually make you want to play them again. So already I'm going to give them that. But then there's that other 20%. And it's not necessarily the fault of like with Sonic 06, you could say silver was a problem. In this one, there are just minor problems kind of littered throughout the various characters that you play. Let me explain that really quick. First of all, you can play as Sonic. Okay, this is not out of the blue. You do actually play as modern Sonic, and you play as retro Sonic. But now you also have the added avatar. You can play as the avatar, or you can also add in levels where you play as both Sonic and your avatar. So you have basically 4 kind of player schemes that all go around the same kind of aesthetic. In particular, like retro Sonic plays how you would think he would play out in the form of like a retro Sonic game. Modern Sonic plays the way that he's played for a good couple of games now. Not really much has changed there. And the avatar is kind of a fusion. Actually, so Sonic, the avatar, and Sonic and the avatar kind of both work in the exact same aesthetic. And like I said, 80% of the levels really, really work. But then you have those weird outlier levels where, like I said, lighting was a bit of an issue with visuals. That can interfere with the gameplay. There are points where it's very clear that you have railings and you're not going to fall off the platform. And then there are levels that throw a curveball and say, no, there are no railings in this one, and you have to pay attention to that. There are also levels that I thought were way too short. There were a few of them. Not again, 80% of the levels are good, but then there's like these 1 or 2 levels that I'm like, really? That's the extent of the level? That's disappointing. I was especially one of them in particular, which I believe was in the Metropolis zone, was incredibly short, and I was actually having a lot of fun with it. I don't know what they were thinking on that one, but with that being said, there's the positive. 80% of the levels work. Boss fights are amazing. They unlike my buddy the Shadow Blazer, who will complain that no, they don't work. I'm sorry, but I'm here to tell you that yes, they do. Virtually every boss fight that I encountered, Zavok, Infinite, actually the multiple encounters that you have with Infinite, the multiple encounters that you have with Dr. Robotnik, all of them are solid boss designs compared to previous incarnations. So I didn't really have any problems with how those were designed, and a majority of the levels were actually really, really fun and engaging to be able to get into. It's just that 20% of like, you did the lighting wrong, or you made it look like the platform might have been a little bit longer, but it kind of isn't, or the level was too short. That's where this starts to hang up on me for a while. And for those who are asking specifically, is it just the Retro Sonic levels? No, it's not. All of them actually have this issue. I've had Retro Sonic levels that I felt like were too short. And I've had Modern Sonic levels that I felt like, wow, that's really short for some reason. It's littered throughout, so you can't necessarily say that, you know, like, this is the Silver the Hedgehog of this game. So I will admit, I took off quite a bit of points on gameplay, but that's simply because while I think that they've made a major improvement compared to previous iterations, it still has a little bit more work to do. And therefore, I'm trying to acknowledge that as well. Moving on into the audio, I really don't have too many complaints on this one. For a majority of characters, we've gotten new voices for them, including Kirk Thornton, I think is his name, is the new Shadow the Hedgehog. At least he's new to me. And he's actually the first Shadow voice that I've had no beefs with, or I haven't want to make fun of. He actually really works. Travis Willingham as Knuckles really, really works as far as I'm concerned. Roger Craig Smith is still doing very, very well as Sonic. The voice cast is pretty solid and spot on, including the addition of Liam O'Brien, who played Infinite. You had to have that voice playing Infinite. It doesn't make sense for anybody else to play it. And it was just funny for me that I was waiting for him to say, "You are not prepared." And I think he actually got a line in there somewhere. So good work on that one, Liam. Music, again, I really don't have any complaints. We have both, when you're playing as Retro Sonic, you get more of an 8-bitty kind of tune in the exact same feel as the other levels you play as Modern Sonic. And I'm trying to think, there really isn't a Retro Sonic level that has lyrics to it. But then when you play as Modern Sonic or the Avatar, you will get lyrics to it, and all of the songs were pretty engaging to me. I really didn't find one that annoyed the crap out of me compared to other Sonic game iterations. That being said, again, with the visuals and the gameplay, if the level's too short, then it kind of knocks it down a peg, but I will admit I didn't take any points off for audio. I thought that the design was well done. Everything seemed spot on in the audio design. Moving on into replayability and presentation. If I were to tell you that there isn't replay value in this game, I'd be lying. Not only is there a very big campaign with 30 missions in it, but also you do have side missions that will unlock if you take over a continent from Eggman, or if you do a particular achievement requirement within a story level, you will get bonus levels that will happen. You also get SOS emergencies in levels that you've already been to try and help things out with the efforts the Resistance are making in that territory. There's plenty to do in Sonic Forces that makes the replay value very valid, including the fact that you can also unlock various colors, skins, outfits that you can put on your avatar just to give you more into that customization experience. There is plenty to do with replay value more than just play the story. I actually think Sonic fans rejoice. I mean, there's plenty of stuff for you to be able to do in a Sonic game. This could probably last until the next Sonic game comes out for the most dominant or the most dedicated of Sonic fans. I think you're very much in the right place for Sonic Forces. Presentation, does it all come together? To me, it does. I can't even believe I'm saying this, but we actually do have a Sonic game that is a little bit above par, which is really weird to say. Like, a lot of people might not get this from me, but ever since Sonic 06, to me, it's just been bad game after bad game, with the occasional outliers of Sonic Generations, Sonic Colors, and Sonic Lost World, to name a few of those. But after that, you get Sonic 06, you get Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, you got Sonic Unleashed, which I'm not a fan of, you got Secret of the Rings and Black Knight, all of which I could very much live without, and now I'm very happy to say that Sega and Sonic Team, you've done a very good job of bringing you guys out of the jaws of mediocrity and actually make something that's above average. Which is why I have no problem giving, and I can't even believe I'm saying this, I'm giving Sonic Forces an 8 out of 10. This is a solid B effort. I think you guys did a great job. There's still some things that need to be improved on, but this is definitely a solid step in the right direction, and I have no problem giving you that 8 out of 10. Moving on into, is it worth the current price that it has? Currently, you can get Sonic Forces for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch. And it's available for all of them at $39.99. So $40 US. Is it worth it at that price? This is where I actually would say, no, it's not. If you're a Sonic fan, you've already bought this. Like, I don't have to necessarily worry about you guys, but if you're somebody who maybe skipped the last couple of Sonic games and has heard good things about Sonic Forces and wanted to try it out, is it worth it at $40 for you? I can honestly say no, it's not. For as much good as this game does, I actually wouldn't mind if it got a price drop in the $5 to $10 direction. Really, ideally, this thing should be probably $19.99 or $24.99 as far as I'm concerned. But I would at least be happy with a 5 to 10 price knockoff, or at least get it on sale or get it used. And I think you'll be perfectly fine on that one. So yes, it's getting a high score. Is it worth the price that it initially launched at? No, not really. And that's going to go ahead and do it for this review of Sonic Forces. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time for the next review.